who is now your girlfriend, who has never been employed.
Yes.
Now, where do you see the advantage? Where you see that she's done this and it's good, and I wouldn't do it.
Yes.
The reason would be she never first be employed. She has failed to do this. The reason is she was never employed.
Yes.
And then there is these things you're like, I've done this because I was employed.
Yes.
I've not done this because I was employed. Could there be these things someone is benefiting?
Well, I must say that I must say that every other person have their personalities.
Yes.
Well, I might actually have the experience. There are a few things that I might actually not have as a person. So it also comes back to the segment of the business that you're handling. Well, as of course time went on, she started having the on-job training.
Yes.
What we call on-job training.
Yes.
The same training she would have had from employment.
Yes.
Through capacity building, through inviting people.
Now the question is,
yes.
would there be advantages she might have brought on board just simply she was never employed, like you?
Well, I must say yes, but of course, just like I'm saying,
Yeah.
time, everything has an advantage and a disadvantage. So, an advantage for that it is that we had someone who would actually really run the business there and then. The disadvantage could be at that particular time she didn't have the experience required. But I must say that the advantages have outweighed the disadvantages in the long run. Yeah.
So you still feel like people who are not employed still have to learn from the business they've done.
That is
try run successful businesses.
Well, that is if they have the courage to learn on job. Yes, that is if one leaves school, they're not going to feel like that sense of ownership, like I'm the owner of this business and I have to do everything. I should actually know it all. If someone is willing to learn, you can leave school immediately, start business for as long as you're going to dedicate some time towards learning what you are doing, the practical knowledge. Yes.
So still the practical knowledge is central. So I think ladies and gentlemen who are just listening to us, it is proper that still if you are going to venture into entrepreneurship, as well as you don't know anything about that business concept you're trying to build a business around, you hire people who are better than you, who have been working in the same area, not just who have been working in that area, but also those who have succeeded in those areas.
Yeah, true.
You hire them, but the most important thing, you make sure you learn from them.
Yeah, learning.
Yes.
Don't say that.
Since I've hired you, Salim has worked with financial services, come and manage my financial institution.
Yes.
Me, I'm just going to chill.
Yes.
Yes.
You make sure that, ask Salim, how is this done? How are structures put in place? How do I initiate? Right now, I can't say never. Because they always say never say never.
Yes.
Things can turn around, but apparently I don't see myself going back to employment because I won't say that because the business has overgrown, but my business needs this time, needs my time. Most people are always taken away from their path. It comes back to what motivates you.
Yes.
Because my motivation is to wake up one morning and my company has grown, have several branches in the country. We are even planning to open new markets in new countries.
Okay.
So I want to use this time to lay a very strong foundation for my business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what I learned is you started businesses in other areas where you had no experience.
Yeah.
They failed.
Yeah.
2 of them, maybe more.
Yeah.
And then later you start a financial institution where I think it has spent more than 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least after 3 years you're sure of another 3 years if you continue to do whatever you are doing.
Yes.
Now, the question is, does your company now pay you like your business was paying you? So where you were employed, paying you? Or if it is true, how long did it take for this company you started start paying you the same amount like the one you had, the one you left?
Well, the business world is very challenging. This is what I can assure you, and everyone out there who is planning to venture into business. I can assure you that as a business person, at some point I find it very difficult to pay myself. With a total salaried employees of close to 30 who are employed by my company, at some point I could be even receiving something less than what our branch manager earns, because I really need these people to run the business. And as a business or as a business person, you must that the business may not be able to pay you now, may not be able to pay all your expenses or your bills, but what are you focusing on? If I can sacrifice 1 or 2 years, like being paid 500,000 by my business, I know that in the next 10 years, this business should facilitate a vacation of close to 20 million in Dubai, should facilitate a vacation of close to 50 million in Rome. So I must say that the company is paying me, but not to the level of what I used to earn in my former employment. Yeah.
Now, how many years you spent after being employed?
Well, I left formal employment in 2020. That was May.
Now 3 years.
2022. It's barely one and a half years, if I'm not mistaken, but it has been worth it.
So you want to say, the young man, young woman who is just listening to us, that when you are leaving employment and starting your business,
yes,
you must be willing to first forget even your former salary.
Yes.
Because the first few years, chances are high that your business will be growing where your own salary is not growing.
Yeah.
Even when your lifestyle itself is not coming out like how it used to be. Well, I think that was clear. Now, I want also to look at the role. How do you generate, because you started small.
Yes.
20 million was not so much, especially for a lending or a microfinance company.
Yes.
So 20 million is just a small. If you're serious, even in 1 week, it can all be taken.
Yes.
Now, the question is, how do you generate sales? Okay. Now, as a small business, as a small enterprise, what are the mechanisms? Because some young man, some old man who has a small business is wondering, I'm leaving my job, you want me to start a business. Now, the question is, how do I generate income for my business so that it can sustain me, sustain my family, at the end of the day has chance of growth. Now the biggest question is, what are the serious things, like at least 4 things every startup or anyone is thinking of leaving his employment and start a business should consider so that he can generate sales as quick as possible?
Thank you for that very good question. What I can tell you is that sales is the lifeblood of any business. Whether you're starting a general merchandise shop, whether you're starting hawking shoes, whether it's an innovation, you're coming up with something new that is not on market, whether it is reselling goods, items, you need to make sales. Because let's assume we started our business with 20 million. This 20 million, had we not made sales to generate an interest on the 20 million, probably would have ended up even eating the capital itself or using the capital for other things. But just because we knew that sales is everything for any business to thrive, for any person to thrive in business, we need to make sales. So the other thing that you need as a growing business is you need to forecast. That okay, if I've started with 20 million, how do I grow that 20 million to 30 in the next 6 months? How do I if I've started by serving 10 customers, how do I grow the number from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 100 to even 500? So with such plans, you will be in position to know that okay, if this month I've been able to hit my target, my projected target, so it means next month I can even do better. And remember, the more targets you hit, the more the business grows. Because let's assume you've been disbursing 500,000 to 20 customers. That's something like 10 million. So the subsequent month you will need 24 customers, an addition of 4 more customers. For 24 paying customers, you find that the business is gradually growing.
So the first thing is getting actual projections, like now that I have 20 million, how do I grow to 40?
Yes.
How do I grow? And this all is all about sales, getting customers.
Yes.
Taking the money and then turning it. So now, how is this? How does the sales funnel come in as someone who is doing a financial institution? How do you build your sales funnel? How do you maintain the proper dropping of good and qualified prospects into your funnel and then converting them? Want this person who's about to start a business? No, because it's not like you're going around and picking clients. You have to develop the contact list. You need to reach them. You need to know what they want, how they want it. Now the question is, by the way of how does the sales funnel help someone to actually grow and even boost his business?
Thank you. It comes back to understanding sales and segmenting your business. Segmenting your customer base. If I'm starting small, am I looking at someone who needs 20 million to complete a tender? Or I'm looking at a woman selling fresh in Kabondaire market. I'm looking for a woman selling food in Impanga market. If so, how do I reach these people? How do I market my goods to those people? There is what we call sales, a sales process. But before we go to the process, what is sales? Sales is actually the activity, involves the activity of selling of a product or services. So how do you sell the products or your services to consumers or to buyers? You have to follow a sales process. A sales process involves quite a number of things. That is, say, we have lead generation, lead qualification, needs assessment or needs identification, and we have negotiations, deal closing. But before we get to lead generation, you must create a campaign, or you must create awareness for your goods. Marketing or creating awareness does not only stop at companies. Even someone who is starting their shop, maybe they are starting up a boutique, they're starting up a juice parlor, something of that kind. They're starting up a salon. You need to create awareness. Let your friends know that Salim is operating a salon on Rukidi Street. Let people know that Salim is opening up a juice parlor at Mpanga Market, room number this. So after creating awareness, you need to go on and talk to people. Talk to an angel, talk to someone else. That is what we call lead generation. You're generating possible buyers, people who will buy from you tomorrow. So after generating the leads, you go to leads qualification. Will this person buy from me? Does this person qualify for my services? After lead qualification, then there is a needs assessment or needs analysis or identification. I've talked to Salim about my juice parlor in Impanga Market, but will Salim need my juice? If yes, at what time will he need it? And how often will he need it? So I get Salim, I have this. I don't know whether you would actually need it. If yes, you go into negotiations. I'm selling it at this amount. I can always deliver it, or you can always pick it up from shop, and then closing the deal. So the most important bit of everything is creating awareness.
So you mean as you start your business, you're having a location at the 3rd Street, or Ruhandika Street, it's not enough. You need to use your phone, you need to use your friends. You have to spread out the news, and that's, I think, marketing. All forms of marketing. not only using TV and radio advertisement or newspaper or wherever, you can still use one-on-one, like, you know what, you guys, I have a salon on this street.
Yes.
In case you want your hair cut, if you want to paint, please drop by.
True.
So in short, how does, I think one of the greatest way of doing sales and maintaining sales is building strong relationship
Yeah.
with your customers.
Yes.